well, you look great. I love your attitude. He goes, let me hear your European accent. And I was like,
You're like, hold on one moment. Let me just pull that out.
How far away did I park?
Welcome to Set Life, where we tell stories from our industry. I'm Kelly Leger, and this is Amber Buteau. Hey, welcome to Set Life, coming to you from For the One Studio, Studio One. I am Kelly Leger.
And I'm Amber Buteau.
And this is Dirk Stevens. Okay, Dirk Stevens, our brother.
It is. What's up? Hey, man. How y'all doing?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad.
Thank you so much.
I feel like this is going to be a very entertaining episode.
It already is. We're not even
We're not even in it yet.
Yeah.
Dirk and entertainment are just is one.
What?
They're just the
Is
same.
one.
I mean, the energy, the fun.
That's what I heard.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks,
that.
man.
That's
I
what I heard.
love it. I love
He
it.
comes in rolling
It
in
makes
hot.
you feel good all inside, man. All
Yes,
inside.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, Dirk, tell us, who is Dirk Stevens? What does Dirk Stevens do? Tell us about you, my friend.
I'm just an old Southern, laid-back
Like
country, single father, hippie,
Okay.
entertainer.
Yes.
You know, just living life, man. I mean, the thing about entertainment to me is it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
That's what we're all here for.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
I
So,
like
Yeah.
it, man.
yeah.
It's the way you express yourself.
It is.
Right?
Mhm.
And I think some of us have the liberty to do that, to express ourselves, we've talked about fashion a lot, you know,
Wow.
and how much we are
You so
just
fly.
So I don't think so.
Mm.
You
Thanks,
so
man.
fly.
We've got
She
that
is.
thing. You know, I just the vibe to express yourself through
Yeah.
creativity of, you know, what like we have in common. We both love fashion,
Yes.
but also personalities and the way we communicate,
Absolutely.
and the energies that we bring into rooms, to
Yeah.
the media that we create, you know.
Yeah.
And then I think what a lot of people don't take in consideration, you just don't know what you don't know, right? In production, it's why it's behind the camera, it's, you know,
Mm-hmm.
BTS, behind the scenes kind of thing.
Yeah.
That energy behind it overflows into
No doubt.
what we're making.
Oh,
I
yeah.
that you
totally
can
agree.
see.
Yes.
I totally agree with that.
100%.
You know.
Absolutely.
And I know that's a big passion of yours.
It
you know,
is.
the vibe on set.
It
or
is.
The energy you bring to
It
set.
is because you go so many places and the room is so stale,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know? And who wants to walk into a room where it's all stale, stiff, and square?
Totally.
Yeah.
You know? We're artists.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a canvas and you take that and you paint on it. And you could paint on that with personality. You could paint on that with fashion.
Yep.
You know? So that's the way I come into a room.
Mhm.
And if it ain't music playing, what are y'all doing in here? Why
Yeah.
are y'all so quiet?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Come here, dance with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why not?
Absolutely.
Why not? Why
And
not?
it's also saying
Yeah.
like, you know, in that in itself. So there are some people that love to paint with all the wild colors
Mhm.
and they're bright and
Mhm.
elaborate and
Yep.
cool. Like one of the images that come to mind, there's an artist that paints like cow pictures, horses, but they're all
Wow.
like super vibrant colors.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
just
that's
such a
pretty cool.
vibe. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a vibe.
Mhm.
And so I could see that in my interior design world, like in a complete monochromatic room,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like all the creams and tans and grays,
Yeah.
just really monochromatic, boom, in the one picture.
Yeah.
And you're like, there it is.
There
It's
it
that
is.
one
There it is.
loud piece is
Yeah.
just so fun,
That is.
right? It's the
is.
balance of those things. But then you have somebody that just is the monochromatic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, only wants to paint with black, white, tan, cream,
right.
gray. That's it.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
need
and
those.
we need those.
I feel like
need
you're
those.
judging me right now.
Well, then
Is that what you
there
paint?
is there's no.
She gives
No
me a hard
puns.
time because my wardrobe is
Yes.
all that. Like she's like, oh, I like all that color you got over there. You brought in 40 things, and there's like nice color.
Okay, because we're always having to try to like vibe together, right? And so I'm putting on something. He goes, "Wow, you have a lot of color on." Like that, one of the other episodes, and he goes, "Let me pick a color." And I looked at his rack, and it's literally all gray and like blue jean and white and black. And I go, "Don't get a big color. Whatever you do, don't get a big color when
Look,
you go."
in my defense, I let the lady come out and like what she's chosen.
Right.
I just try to compliment it. I don't try to be the colorful cow on the wall. I try to be the monochromatic room that
I'm with you.
lets the.
I'm with you.
Shine.
I understand. I understand.
Yes, my-
I try to bring the color to the room. If you look at my
Yes.
closet, everything I wear is freaking black.
Yeah.
It's all black. That is my color. Everything is black.
Okay.
But you can look at black as the absence of color
Yes.
or the presence of all color.
Yeah.
Because let's face it,
Let's
when
do
you
it.
start smashing all them Crayolas together, what happens? It turns
That's
into.
why you got kicked out of class.
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
how-
There it is.
That's not how you. That's not how you do
I
it.
feel like we just went to
That's not
therapy
how this
session with
works.
Kelly.
My whole life just got
This works.
redefined. Whoa. I knew this was gonna be a fun one.
That's awesome.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, so here's what I get the feeling that it doesn't matter that what Dirk Stevens did, art would be involved. It would turn into art. It would
In
turn
some
into
form and
entertainment.
fashion.
It would turn into
No
that.
matter what I do, even washing dishes, bro.
Turns into art.
It does.
I believe it.
It does.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But some people, they have their place where they shine, and or some people have photography. But outside of that, they really can't see it somewhere
Yeah.
else. They can't, that doesn't apply somewhere else for them. That's really where they're gifted. And then there's some people who are just plain creatives.
Wow.
They're just plain
true.
entertainment, and that will end up with whatever they're doing, whoever they're with. However,
Absolutely, man.
that's just how it flows.
Yeah.
Okay, so because this is the inspiring stories of the entertainment industry, one of my favorite questions to ask is, when did you realize that you saw everything through a creative lens?
So, growing up, I grew up in this family that was deeply rooted in music.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone went to church. Everyone played an instrument. My uncle played a guitar. My mom played a tambourine,
Oh yeah.
and she would lead the choir. She was a soloist.
Ah.
So every Sunday, I would have to sit in the front row and listen to these people play until I got old enough to join a choir.
I was going to say, there is no way you were sitting there. You
What?
were,
Until I got
you were
old
in
enough to
the
join a
front seat.
choir. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then from choir, it went to Easter speeches that I didn't want to do. Did I say that?
Did you use your real voice?
Of course, I had to. It was either that or get my behind whipped.
That's right.
Because they knew.
Yeah, you must not know who my grandma anymore.
She had that.
Change your voice if you want to. But yeah, that's where it came from. And that's when I started feeling like I can be really creative with things.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's when it went into acting and music. So I started writing and acting and music, and that became my out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the things that I would go through as a child in
Yeah.
life
Wow.
growing
Yeah.
up, because
Yeah.
that good old Southern home, it was either do it or get your behind whipped.
Yeah, I think we all got a lot of that in common.
Yeah.
Being from
That's how it was
South,
growing up. So
for sure.
I love it.
And what a cool place to find an outlet, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You hear that a lot in the creative. One of the things I love so much about creatives, they are so emotionally charged
Mm,
and see the world in a different place and won't conform to the ways of the world.
that's so real.
So their butts get beat more than the one that conforms.
For not being understood,
Yes, correct.
misunderstood.
Yes, misunderstood.
Sit down
Instead
somewhere, be
of,
still.
yeah, that's right. Instead of embrace, that's why I said there's no way you were sitting on the front row. You were moving, dancing, shaking, something.
were.
Grandma's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you if you don't sit down.
If you don't.
And you're like,
That's
I'm
right.
trying, I'm trying.
I just wanted a peppermint or something out of purse. I was hungry. You ever sat in church so long? You're hungry?
Oh yeah.
Just tell me about
So true. Why they make it so close to lunch? And so, you know what I mean? Like, come on. But it's like the misunderstood part is the beauty.
That's right.
That's where that unique
Yeah.
creativity, innovation lives.
That's
in
right.
that
That's where it grows.
zone. And it's just like, how do we foster that better
Right.
as a culture and as in parenting and in schools
Oh,
and
God, it's never ending.
programs, all of that is
Wow.
to try to find a lane. It's just same that you do for athletes.
Right.
I
It
mean,
is.
you put them in or the military or order or structure
That's
or
right.
certain, things.
You feed
Now,
it.
Yeah. And you foster it, you nurture it.
That's right.
You look at it, you understand it. So, it's one of the things that I appreciate so much about creatives.
Yeah.
Letting them be whatever they want to be and can create. It's kind of like when you walk into this white box before all of this. It's just a blank slate. And you let a true creative come in and they're like, whoa,
It's
because
like the
they
sky
now just
opens
see,
up.
yes, because they can see everything that can be.
It's a really good test for somebody to bring them into this
Yes.
room, into a studio, a blank studio, or like a blank office space or a blank loft or anything
Yeah.
like that. Do they see a canvas to paint on, or are they lost and they can't see anything? There's two. It tells you what side of people's brain they're in, what they live out of. Are they creative? Where they are? Because
Yes.
I'm sure everybody's the same way here. We walk into this place and we're like, oh my gosh, you're thinking about all the things you could create, what
absolutely
you could
right.
do,
Yeah.
what you do in a space. You walk a new place you live in, whatever. You're like, oh,
Yes.
I'm doing this. I already got it. You know
Yep.
what you're thinking about. You know, it's a big deal. Okay, so I'm curious. You talk about writing. What tell me what kind of stuff you write, and then just like start telling me about how some inspiration and processes have worked for you. I'm very curious.
A lot of music.
Okay.
I grew up writing a lot of music.
Okay.
A few scripts, but man, writing to me, I'll doze off writing in bed. You know, ideas will just start flowing. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep, and I'll write.
Well,
You know what I mean? And it's always either music or adding on to a script that I already have. You know, but that's where my creativity is. You know, and around my house is never a dull moment.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be singing, somebody's gonna be dancing, somebody's gonna be changing their voices a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but that's how it is in my household. So I allow that creativity to grow with my children as well. You know, so
And I say too, like whatever keeps you up at night, not the bad, but the good that keeps you up at night, there's something you're supposed to be doing in that.
that's right.
There's
Absolutely.
something you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's
it's
true.
like I can go to sleep with an idea for design, or this is gonna sound boring to y'all, but business. Like I can wake up and think
That's
of
absolutely
emails
cool.
that are like, oh my gosh, when we send out that email, we need to have a creative package that goes out with that. Then we need the messaging, we need all the tags, we need like, and I just start thinking of processes and systems for business of what we're creating, and then how do I make that maximize to the nth degree of it. And I literally wake up in the middle of the night and think those things. So I'm not writing a song.
No.
It's never, but you know,
still creative.
what
Yeah.
keeps you up at night, you know, I can be thinking of a set before I go to bed and I'm thinking design. I'm like, ooh, what if we had this other wingback chair and I took the other wooden chair out
Nice.
and then I move it? It's like, you know, the box, building the soft box.
Need that.
You know, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know if I engineer it, if the fabric goes across it, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like,
There it is.
I'm Velcroing the
Yes.
edge.
See?
You know, it's like that keeps you up at night.
Love the way the brain works when
You
it comes
know,
to that creativity.
Is
I
a
love the way the brain
true,
works.
passion. It's just naturally flows out of
That's true.
you, because when you're asleep, you're not using the part of your brain that's rationally thinking.
You're not.
Those are passions, desires, things that are coming out of you
That's right.
that stir your energy juices.
true.
You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about all the times I woke up in the middle of the night and that kind of stuff happened, and I'm like, yeah, and it's never happened to me before, ever.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
Yeah,
don't,
right.
no. So, I mean, I try. So on the creative side, yes. If I let my brain go, I will never sleep. So like, I try to like watch cartoons before I go to sleep.
Me too.
I try to like watch
Absolutely.
something that's
That's
like,
creative.
and I'll okay, fine, but
That's creative.
but I'll lay there and my wife will be like, "Oh, we need to." I'm like, "Don't say it. If you say it, I'm gonna be up because then my brain's off to the races."
Yeah.
So I'm like, the fact of the matter is, I am that way, and I'm like, when I try to sleep, I'm like, I got to do something. I'm trying to do something to purge my brain so I don't,
Yeah.
you know, let all the creative juices out and I don't get any sleep.
And I've tried to harness it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You know,
scary.
I've tried to say, I know I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I know if I'm really deep in a project and I'm going to bed and I start thinking on it, I'm the same way. I'm not going to go to sleep. So I kind of try to do some things beforehand, but I know innately it's going to come out of me at some point in my sleep, probably. So I've learned to just get up, write it, or like get my phone's always by the bed, right? Like none of us can live
Yes.
without that thing, whatever.
Wow.
Write it in there and then just put it aside. Like I know I'm going to think on it again
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's there. So I'm not trying to hold on to it
Right.
or relive it or think over it. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's there. I'll deal with it in the morning, you know?
Right.
Wow. I get so many crazy thoughts going through my brain that if I don't get it down at that very moment, I'll get rushed by
gone.
100 more and
It's
it'll go
true.
away.
Yeah.
It's
that's
true.
so
Yeah.
truth.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
it.
I got
That's
a lot
the
of
story
those
in my life
Yeah.
right there.
Well, you know, and they say write down and make it known your plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So like I tell people all the time, you've thought and it's like gone. And I'm like, I was going to say something, but it's gone now. And I've learned to now say it's making a lap around the track. It's going to come back at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to come back.
That means I have a very
But-
big track because that means they don't come back very often. That means the track is like really big. And even if I write it down, it is the ugliest,
Yeah.
crappiest handwriting
Yeah.
you have ever seen in your entire life. Read it? Never. You? Never. Me? Maybe not. But it's terrible. But if I don't write it down, it'll go away.
Yeah.
It'll go away.
It's true.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
tons of those. Like you got your notes in your phone or whatever, you know?
Yep.
And I have so many that are only one sentence.
Yep.
You think you go back to
Yeah.
the same page, and I should probably do
Yeah.
that. No, they're just a bunch of one sentence notes that are just like that because I don't want to forget it. That's good.
Uh-huh.
Anything. You're
So-
absolutely right.
So writing music,
I love music.
right? What kind of music?
Yeah, I
What
was
do you
just going to say the
all-
same.
all
That's what
kinds?
makes music music.
Mhm.
Is because all of it. There's no certain genre.
Mhm.
Even though I listen to everything.
Yeah.
But music to
Same
me
here.
is going to speak to you in some kind of form or fashion. It
Yes.
doesn't matter where it came from
Yeah.
or what kind of music it is. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's going to speak to you somehow.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, I'm not trying to hear that, it spoke to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let it go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's it. But
Yeah.
music,
Yes.
Music.
And how about so acting? How's
love
acting
acting.
come
man.
into all this?
Man, so taking theater in middle school, that crap don't count. Let me get that out of there right now. It don't count.
Didn't count.
Trying to go through school to learn acting, to me, didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work. So it was like the hard knocks game of
Mhm.
trying to learn acting or getting to the acting field.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
Yeah. Why do you think it doesn't work?
because it goes by some weird standard, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. You know, it doesn't allow you to
Uh-huh.
be as open or as creative as you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, but
And I think
not for me.
at that age
Yeah.
too, you are dealing with such
So much.
stereotypical
Mhm.
ideals, fit in molds,
Yes.
stereotypical
Mhm.
high school things.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's very hard in high school to break outside of that. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm
Trust
like,
me,
look,
I
the
know.
world does not look like this. The world does not look like high school.
It does
I'm
not.
just saying.
Right.
15
When you get to
Trust
college,
me, I know.
you meet your
Sheesh.
best friends, you find yourself,
It's true.
you find the world that you
Yep.
live in the best. I mean, there's so much beyond. Like, people here truly believe these are going to be the best days of their life because they played high school football or
Right.
because they were like the lead of the band. Or that's just it's a high school world bubble world. That's not real
true.
life.
Yep.
Go
That's
out
not-
there where you're dealing with everybody.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
the whole departments are all working together.
That's right.
You don't get to stay in your one little
Yep.
section.
You do not.
You know, like you do in high school. It's real segmented.
You know, to me, I mean, you're talking about that, like, you know, the way they teach. I think it comes back to kind of like what we started on before. You know, it takes more work to find out how to teach different ways and how people receive
Yeah.
differently or how they learn differently. It takes more work.
Mhm.
And most people aren't going to put in that kind of work as a teacher, as a
right.
mentor, as a whatever. But it takes that because everybody's
Well,
learns
because it
different.
takes
So-
time.
So I skipped.
So you skipped. Yeah. You already knew that. So you were out.
Yes.
I get it.
I was out.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
Because if I couldn't connect to you as a teacher,
Yeah.
then there's something somewhere else I can connect to
Yeah. Yeah.
for this time instead of me sitting here in this class dozing off in this book.
Yeah.
That's just the way I grew up. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I learned how to play pool really good those years of my life because I was skipping class.
Yeah.
That's when I became a good pool player those years.
Absolutely.
But you know, but it's caused me now to make sure that I am investigating the person that I'm helping, mentoring, teaching, whatever. I'm like, I got a responsibility to, like, if I believe there's something I'm supposed to give you, I got some kind of responsibility in this thing to find out the way that you're going to be taught and receive the
Yeah.
best.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's more work.
Yeah.
It is.
But it's like, but how bad do you want them to get? How seriously do you take your job?
Mhm.
Or it's like, no, everybody just got to mold to me, mold to me, mold to me.
Terrible.
You know, that's not it either. You know, so there's a place for that. You know, and I think that's probably even in that acting class why you didn't find your lane because you're like, no, this is the way, and you're like, is it though?
but
You know?
is it?
Yeah.
But is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years on cast at the Texas Renaissance Festival was like life-changing.
Okay, tell me about this Renfest.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes. So I took my youngest to a Dunkin' Donuts one day. There was a guy in line that had a kid with him. Now the guy was irate, like, but who the hell wants to hear that, right? Early in the morning, I'm trying to get some donuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I told the guy, not so very politely, I admit, but I did tell the guy. I said, "Hey, man, if you don't have the patience for this, leave. If you're in such a hurry, go. But nobody wants to hear
Yeah.
your attitude. You're bringing the vibe down in here, bro. You got to go."
Yeah.
He left. But there was a lady sitting in the corner, and she was like, "I'm writing a review right now about what's going on, and I appreciate what you did. That's awesome." And I was like, "No, well, you ain't got to thank me. I just didn't want that dude in here. My kid is in here. He got a kid with him. He needed to go find somewhere else."
Yeah.
Come on.
So we got into a conversation, and I told her I was an amateur actor. And she goes, "Well, I've been the Queen of Germany in the Renaissance Festival for like 20-something years." I was like,
What?
"What?" And she's showing me these pictures. And I'm like, "That's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I would love to do that." She was like, "I'll get you an audition." She goes, "I'll send you some information." Took about 2 weeks. Now, at this point in my life, I had just separated from my kid's mom. I was going through a kind of a down spot.
Yeah.
And one of the worst things I've ever done in my life was to move back in with my mother, right? This was years ago. So it was like, man, I moved back in with my mom. I met this lady, and she got me this audition. She sent me the info.
Uh-huh.
It's 2 hours and 12 minutes away.
That's right.
I was driving a 1994 Chevy 1500 that was holding on by the hair on my teeth. And I'm finna drive this 2 hours and something for an audition that we both know I might not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
With the Queen of Germany.
Right.
Queen of Germany. It's been a queen for 20-something years, right?
Yeah.
So I get there, of course. You got 2 hours and 12 minutes to think about this, right?
Uh-huh,
You got 2
yeah,
hours and 12.
yeah.
Man, the amount of times I told myself, say, turn your butt around, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing way out here? Look
Yeah.
at these woods.
Yeah.
They won't be able to find you. Okay, I'm gonna still go. I'm gonna still go.
And what were you auditioning for? What was the...
I didn't know yet.
Oh, you didn't
I didn't know yet. So I get there,
Even better.
and I get there, totally blind to this. I get there,
Yes.
and she meets me down this long dirt path, and I'm like, oh, she gives me a hug like a mother,
Yeah.
and it already warmed my heart.
Okay.
Right? She was glad to see me.
Yeah.
That made me comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I get to this office. There's two guys sitting at a table. And they're like, "Nice to meet you. I'm such and such. Nice to meet you. I'm such and such," right? Who I've learned later that these two guys have been in control of the Renaissance Festival for like 30 years.
Wow.
So he's like, "Well, you look great. I love your attitude." He goes, "Let me hear your European accent." And I was like,
You're like, hold on one moment. Let me just pull that out of.
"How far away did I park?" European what?
Country in Europe.
Pass the chalice, sire. He goes, "You're hired."
Hey.
Oh
He
my
goes, "You're
gosh.
hired." I was on cast in Spain for 3 years.
Wow.
65 to 70,000 people a weekend.
Wow.
Wow.
And it got to a point to where I was only character in Spain, King of the Moors. Only character in Spain like that. So people would come back after a year and look for me.
Oh.
So that pushed my passion
Wow.
Yep.
in acting
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
A lot.
That's
And I
cool.
love it. I loved it.
Solidified
Oh,
the.
that's so
Changed
cool.
my life.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it for the moolah. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm talking about pennies, gas,
Yeah.
food.
Little small things.
Morsel, me, please. My man, morsel.
Alms for the pole.
What?
Yeah.
That's
So
my,
you-
that's my,
definitely
all
for the
my
passion.
European right there.
Definitely for the passion, bro. It's not for anything else.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
What is next for Dirk? Like, what's next? Where are you going? Where do you want to go? What's it look like? What's the future?
I want to get into more acting. I want to get into these voiceovers. You know, eventually opening up my own studio, my own production company.
Yeah.
Because I have 3 very talented kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can see them already going in that.
Direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, I would
Wow.
love to see them doing that. You know.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
How you could foster that and,
I would love that.
you know, help grow that is, I think that's all parents'
Yeah.
desires. I don't know if it's all parents' choices, but I think
Dude.
it is their desire. You know, it's.
They've been living solely with me, and I'll tell you, they've been living solely with me for 4 years now. I've been a widow for 4 years, and it's amazing to see their minds grow.
Wow.
Speaking of creativity, you
Yeah.
know,
That's great.
my youngest is a builder. He's hyper focused on building. Like, you would not believe the Legos this kid puts together.
Oh,
Haley, she puts together her own scripts. She's 12 years old,
oh wow.
you know, and she acts them out. She hires my 9-year-old to act them out with her, you know, while I'm in here cooking in the kitchen there, and they're tearing up my living room. you know? But yeah, and I have a 15-year-old who's into fashion.
Uh-oh.
This boy here. Oh my God. I'm standing at the front door going, "Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet?"
Oh no.
Like, dude, like, we all have somewhere to go. You know, you're beautiful, but we all have somewhere to go, bro. What? We got somewhere to go, bro. You playing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
if I
that's
can
awesome.
channel that into them,
Yeah.
which is already there.
Yep.
Well, how do people find you? Like social website? How can people connect with you? They want to hire you to come act. They want to. How do we do this?
I'll be standing on the corner of 16 and no.
Oh.
Come find me. But no, you can find me on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. Pool boy with
Okay.
an I.
Okay.
Hustle _.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Instagram. That's the way.
Dude, I'm so old school.
I like it.
I just
Yep.
kind of got into that a little bit.
Yes.
I'm the person looking at the phone going, button,
Yeah.
button,
Yeah.
button. You know? So
Yeah.
Wow.
there's my Instagram.
Instagram. Pool boy with a BOI.
With
Pool
with
boy.
the I. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Pool boy hustle.
All right.
With
Pool
an
boy
I.
hustle.
Underscore.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool.
Dirk, it's always, you've shot here, you've worked here on different sets and stuff, and you just always light up the environment every time you come in, and
thank
you're
you.
just always so full of positive energy and kindness and goodness, and so
Like it.
yeah, we appreciate
Y'all
you.
know when I come up in here, we ain't going for that boring crap.
No, that's right. That's right.
Everybody's walking, it's debonair. It's debonair. Hey,
Yeah,
turn on some trap music. No, I'm just
yeah. It's always been fun. It's been fun. It's been a delight to have you. Thanks for
Thank
sitting
you.
with us.
Thank you, Miss Amber, for having me.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
We never got
thanks for
Kelly to
having me.
dance,
Thanks
but-
for having me on the show.
Come on, man.
I've enjoyed it.
Nah, me too. Come on, let's do this bob again. Come on, ready?
Here it is. This is what was practiced prior to.
Done
Thanks
deal.
everybody
Done
for
deal.
tuning in. Until then, we'll see you on Set Life.